Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Be a GM. As you can see here, we had to actually restart it because Tyler Johnson, his shot was really bad, and he scored 25 goals in real life this season, or 24. So I decided to up it a little bit and restarted. We did everything pretty much the same. The only difference is we did sign another prospect, goaltender. Here, you'll see Tom McCollum, 3.5 stars. We scratched Cedric Desjardins. We can give Gulevsky some more starts without having to manually go in and change the goalie all the time. There is one thing I wanted to do in this video. By the way, I'll explain while we set up this trade. This episode was supposed to have a gameplay versus the Rangers to open it up, but the game didn't record, so I ended up just scratching that whole idea and doing a game at the end of this episode. I'll make it a little shorter, though. So, here is the trade we are trying to set up right now. Would involve giving up... who else is in this trade? I think Slater Cuckoo. And also give up Matthias Oland so that salaries worked out. And in exchange, we would get Derek Brassard, Martin St. Croix, and we do the left winger, maybe right, yeah, Jay Fast. We also threw in, I believe we gave them back their second round pick. Yes, we did. Give them back New York Rangers second round pick. This trade is to get top 2 defenseman Ryan McDonough, someone we can pair with Steven Stamkos on the top, or Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman on the top line. Victor Hedman's going to have an absolutely outstanding season, as you'll see in a couple of minutes, but we're going to make this trade with the New York Rangers to get Ryan McDonough, and they can just plug Matthias Oland in there for him. And we would send these guys down, and we would also waive Nate Thompson, who would be claimed by another team, but that's no big deal. Obviously, we wouldn't have waived him if we knew that was what was going to happen. Let's go adjust this to our liking. Tyler Johnson needs to go up here. Pallet, right wing, Hyatt center. So that works out a lot better now. So we have depth goal scoring now. Hopefully Brassard can get something going. Brassard scored a shorthanded goal when I played that game against the Rangers. Oh, whoops. Brewer. Even nasty bottom 2 pairing. Stamkos, I want second. I don't want Callahan in the shootout at all. We'll put Teddy Purcell second. Offense, defensive pairings were good. Power play. Let's put like this with Pallet. Put Pallet on the power play instead of. We don't want Ryan Callahan on the power play. We want him because he's a grinder, obviously. So, and 4-on-4 lines. Put Callahan with Filppula for this, and Tyler Johnson. Pallet. Donut Kucherov on the 4-on-4 lines. That's not a big deal though. And we'll put Filppula out here. And then we need to put Fast in these lines. I'm going to scratch Crombie. Well, we won't scratch him, we'll just move him down. There we go. So who's ranking? Wait, Fast, Crombie. Someone's scratched. Korobov is double shifting. Where's Mr. Korobov, Suster, Koska, and we can scratch Rankin. There we go. And what lines do we have him in? I don't think any. Oh, it replaced him. I forgot I did that. Like that. So what that does is it offloads Matthias Olin's contract for a while too. We are 16-8 now at this restart of the sim. We're second in the Atlantic. Toronto has 3 more wins than we do. Lucic is leading league in goals. I thought that was hilarious. Bishop 14 wins. Stamkos 7th in the league in points. Bishop's also 7th in save and 6th in goals against. We are the only trade that happened all season. That's pretty hilarious. And it looks like LA was the team that claimed Nate Thompson from us. So first we're going to look at the AHL season stats. Well, maybe not. You're going to get a spoiler anyway. All right, let's just look at the NHL. So here, look at who's leading us in assists. Victor Hedman. Hell yeah. Victor Hedman is leading our team in assists. Well, he's tied for the lead, technically. Let's look. Steven Stamkos, only point a game player. Filppula is right there playing second line time. And Parcel's pretty close. Hedman, 15 points, very good. Kucherov, 15. We have almost 8 players with a point every 2 games. I guess 7, you wouldn't count Ryan McDonough, because he's a clear upgrade from what we had going on before. Bishop 1.99 with 14-6 record, 9.33 goals or save. Lindback, pretty decent as well. Our best rookie has been Tyler Johnson. And now let's look at Syracuse. I'm going to sim up to the trade deadline and then do a game. Maybe not even do a game, I don't know. Kind of not motivated at this point to do a game. No one's doing overly great. We got a lot of balance on the team. Barbaria's having a great season in the AHL too. Panic's doing okay. Connolly's got to get it going here. And then goaltending, Gudlevsky's 1.35 goals against with 10-4 record, 9.47, and then Tom McCollum doing very well filling in too. He's 2-0 record. So let's see who we will want to play. Feeling a home game. It's like Carolina. Preliminarily, anyway. Alright, let's get some sim going. 2-0 shutout. Doing pretty good. Derek Brassard's our plus-minus leader. It's pretty funny. Alright, Pittsburgh having a rough year to start out. We're probably, I'm surprised we won. I was like, we're probably going to lose to them just because they're doing so good. Ben Bishop, back-to-back shutouts. Only been able to score 3 goals on offense, but it has not mattered because we're getting a great goaltending performance. Scouting. The main person I was invested in was in the OHL. I'm not going to scout just him, but the main person I was looking at was Michael DeCall. We could possibly move into the first round to pick him up, or move up in the first round to pick him up. I really like him. Good playmaker. A decent shot. Could be Teddy Purcell's replacement on the top line in a few years. Might trade for him after the draft too, which I like doing better because then you don't have to make up so much value, and it's incredibly unpredictable a lot of times where anyone goes pretty much outside of the top 5. What was that game? Play the Caps here in January. I was going to play the Hurricanes, but I'd rather play Capitals. Capitals are my favorite team in real life. Although I don't know as much about them as I know about Tampa Bay because I don't get to watch them all the time, but they're my favorite team to watch. Favorite player, Alexander Ovechkin. Alright, so we lost our first overtime game over the stretch. Filppula is leading the team in assists, it looks like. Winnipeg, 19-11, that's a pretty good start for them. Looks like Pavlik has all but one of their wins. And we won 1-2. We're on a pretty good streak right here. I guess did our scouting assignment not go through or something? We must have only done it for a week then on X. January, yeah. Alright, taking on Washington. A pretty rough year. Ovechkin's only got 9 goals. That's pretty rough. Probably scored both goals in that game though. Alright. Detroit's having a rough start to the year. We lost, I think that was in overtime though. Stamkos looks like he's kind of slowing down a little bit. It's okay. He's not playing with the most talent around him, especially now that St. Louis has been traded to the Rangers. Oh, we're on a losing streak now. All right. Let's try and pick this up here. Come on. All right, we got to win. Halak doing not so hot with the Islanders. They're pretty bad. I think we lost in overtime to them. All right. Looks like our team's going a little bit cold. Philip Forsberg is leading the Predators in goals. That was an overtime loss. Okay with overtime loss. You still get points out of them. They're still losses and all, but the way the NHL handles overtime losses, I'm okay with losing in overtime. I'd more so rather lose in overtime than in regulation. Victor Hedman leading the team in assists. It's hilarious. Hope he can blossom into a top two, and we can pair him with McDonough next year and just destroy it. Although in this game, there's not much of a difference between, as far as points. There's not much of a difference between 88 and 80 when it comes to a defenseman. They're not going to put up, the 60, 70-point seasons that you see people like Erik Karlsson have. A lot. Ooh, 1-0 loss. It's a rough one to lose. We're going to check where we are before we play our game. It says we're still in December. I think we're in January though. See what shakeups we could possibly do. I put Philpill on the top line. Something I've thrown around. Although I do really like him, he's been performing very well as a second liner, so I don't know if moving him up would exactly be the right thing to do. Edmonton. Looks like they're a lot better in this game than they are in real life. Wow, Wheeler's having a really good season for Winnipeg. All these overtime losses. Alright. Save percentage, goals against, Bishop's still up there. I think goalies do a little too well in this game. There's not that many goalies with that low statistics. Points. Phil Kessel actually leading the league in points. That's by like 10 almost. It's pretty good. Stamkos, 19 goals. Looks like he's not doing much else though. He's got to be the number one defenseman in terms of points. At least assists anyway. Let's check that. Let's check leaders. We're going to do stat update once again. Cedar's been kind of hot and cold. Broussard's been cold since we traded for him. Yeah, Philpill's not doing that great. Purcell, yeah, this is kind of not disappointing. It's just not as good as we expected. Everyone's kind of slowed down. Callahan's really disappointed. Could trade him. I'm going to put him on the trading box, see what comes up. Yeah. Tyler Johnson's been really underperforming on that second line, too. He got a really good shot, too. I guess it must just be his player type. Is he his plus? No, he's a minus. Yeah, everyone's plus minus is kind of gone down. Let's put Callahan on the trading block and then play a game. No one trading draft picks. Who can we? Eric Brewer was another one I wanted to put on the trade block because he's old and has multiple years left on his deal. Well, we're gonna put Carl and Purcell on the trade block, but not yet. That'll be down the road a little bit. Put Ryan Malone up there too. I passed Callahan. Is there anyone else I wanted on the trade board? No, I'm pretty satisfied with everyone else. Yeah, Callahan. I feel like I definitely would get more out of Callahan now than I would by holding on to him, like in signing him to an extension. Alright, so 25, 13, and 5. Let's see where we are in the league. We actually slipped to third, right behind Ottawa. It was a really tight East. It looks like any team like Washington, Florida, Buffalo, New York, they might already be out of it. Might have already fallen too far back. Columbus might have even done not quite enough. We look like we'll definitely have a playoff spot. We have the third most points in the entire conference. So, all right, this will be a game against the 18 and 6 Washington Capitals. Hope you guys enjoyed the sim part of this video.